Good afternoon. This is the Midday News. I am Ifeoluwa Ajirenike. Ekiti, in Ileje Major Local Government Area of the state, has been finally crowned with a new king after about 3 years of royal vacant stool. The new traditional ruler is Oba Samuel Daramola from Owa ruling house. Our reporter, Toba Babalola, covered the official presentation of instruments of appointment and staff of office to the new Oba by the Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, at the conference hall, Governor's Office, Ado Ekiti. The report will come in our subsequent bulletins. The Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has congratulated the senator representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District, Okpeyemi Bamidele, on his election as the chairman of Southern Senators Forum. Governor Fayemi, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary Yinka Oyibode, said he was particularly happy at Senator Bamidele's emergence, adding that Senator Bamidele would bring his wealth of experience to bear on the new assignment. The governor also congratulated Senator Stella Odua from Anambra North, who emerged vice chairman of the forum, as well as other officials elected. Dr. Fayemi said democratic institutions in the country would perform better in their developmental roles with the right leadership in place. The wife of the Ekiti State Governor, Erelubisi Fayemi, has paid the medical bill and expressed readiness to take full responsibility for other treatments that would be required for the recuperation of a SS3 female student, Ayomide Daranijo, who was shot by an unknown gunman a couple of weeks ago. The 15-year-old Ayomide, who is now receiving medical treatment at the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, EXUS, Ado Ekiti, was shot at the Bashiri Junction in February 2021 while preparing to board a motorcycle to her home. An aide to the governor's wife, Alhaji Dauda Lawal, who gave the information in Ado Ekiti, said Erelu Fayemi had indicated interest to help the 45-year-old victim's mother and single parent, Mrs. Omalayo Daranijo. Lawal added that the woman had been relocated based on the First Lady's directives. The management of Abuad Multi-System Hospital in Ado Ekiti says it will continue to build on the achievements recorded in the health sector, as well as ensure standard healthcare delivery to the people. The founder of the health institution, Are Afe Babalola, made the promise at an event to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of the hospital held in Ado Ekiti. Are Afe, who said its quest for standard healthcare delivery prompted the establishment of the hospital, added that with the success recorded in 3 years, he was proud putting the health facilities in place. Earlier, the acting vice-chancellor of Afe Babalola University, Abuad, Professor Smaranda Olarinde, said within 3 years of the commencement of the services at Abuad Multi-System Hospital, several great feats have been accomplished. She explained that the hospital has assumed the leading position as a center for heart and vascular surgery and a wide range of cutting-edge open-heart surgeries, cardiac interventional procedures, including multiple valve replacements, repair of complex heart birth defects, among many others, have successfully been carried out in the hospital.
We learned from our past experience in the Sadiq University. That was why it was easy for me to put on the university and then the hospital. And within 3 years, we have achieved unmatchable results. I'm very much fulfilled. Look at the type of surgeries we have carried out. Is it heart surgery? There was a case of a young girl who had never seen through her twice for 12 years. She gained her sight here. Can't do more than that. The number of heart surgeries are so many that we don't really remember so much. We don't really have to count it. Even the fathers, patients from all parts of the country to this hospital, and my consultants are performing magic here, to say the least.
The March edition of the Environmental Sanitation comes up tomorrow between 7 and 10 in the morning. According to the Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Mrs. Iyabo Fakunle Okeme, she said there would be restriction of movement during the exercise, with exception of those on essential duties. She advised residents to clean the environment during the exercise, particularly in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fakunle Okeme urged the people and shop owners to clean up the drainages in front of their houses and dump their refuse properly. The commissioner cautioned the public, especially commercial motorcyclists, market women, and motorists against violating the exercise. The Alumni Association of the Ekiti State University, Ado-Ekiti, has taken another giant stride as the group inaugurated its alumni village, being the first of its kind in Africa. The national president of the association, Dr. Oludotun Adetumberu, during the ceremony at the EXU Alumni Village in Ado-Ekiti, called for synergy between the Alumni Association and the university authorities to improve on the standard of education. Sunday Daramola completes the story.
The two-in-one event witnessed the inauguration of the EXU Alumni Village and the foundation laying of the Alumni Secretariat.
The new Alumni Secretariat by the Olowo of our kingdom.
Dr. Adetumberu narrated how the idea of the Alumni Village, which he said was first of its kind in Africa, was conceived and actualized despite a series of industrial strike and the outbreak of COVID-19 that characterized his 3-year tenure.
100 lives start with the said, I will conceive Vision 2030 projects today. Within the span of 3 years, others were able to put on these functions to carry out the conditions.
He commended members of the association and the university management for their support. Also, the chairman, board of trustee of the Alumni Association, Mr. Olawale Jegede, disclosed that the feat recorded by the Dr. Adetumberu-led executive will propel others coming after him to do more, adding that the EXU Alumni Village would impact positively on members of Alumni Association, the university, and the students.
And it will be a good income generating project for the alumni. And for the students too, it's something that is worth looking up to. Being proud of coming out of this university and being proud of a university that has launched programs and projects that has been first, not only in Nigeria, but the first in Africa.
The royal father of the day, Ewe of Ado-Ekiti, Oba Rufus Adejugbe, and the royal guest of honor, Olowo of Owo, Oba Ajibade Ogunye, who was decorated as the patron of the association, commended the sacrifices of members.
I want to thank the Alumni Association for the interest in this university.
As a challenge towards the urge to contribute to the greater development of the university.
Other dignitaries, such as the PDP governorship candidate in the last year gubernatorial election in Ondo State, Mr. Itayo Jegede, and the chairman, Association of Nigeria University Alumni, Dr. Lawale Fashaki, noted that the groundbreaking event has shown that the role of Alumni Association at improving the standard of education could not be overemphasized.
By the fact that the alumni are taking leadership to provide the environment required for education.
You can be there as long as you want to research. It's very good for researchers and for relaxation of people.
The EXU Alumni Association also named the Association ICT Center after a former EXU alumni president, the late Kole Ajayi. Sunday Daramola reporting.
A special service with the theme, The King of Glory, will hold on Sunday at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Live Gate Mega, Opopogboro, Ado-Ekiti, by 9 in the morning. The service, which will feature guest artists from Ilorin and Osogbo, will also have the pastor in charge of Ekiti Province 4, Pastor Tunde Adelusi, as minister of the day. The Lagos State government has denied compromising the vaccination protocols rolled out by the federal government. even as it said the allegations of malpractices at Falamo Center and sale of vaccines were untrue and unfounded. The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, after he paid an unscheduled visit to some vaccination centers across the state, said that the state had vaccinated over 100,000 persons. Abayomi said the visit was geared towards getting first-hand information of the process at the sites, ascertaining the allegations and determining whether activities at the sites are in line with the government protocols and best practices. The Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele has vowed to make life difficult for those he said are hoarding and smuggling commodities in the country, just as he announced that the Apex Bank had successfully financed over 3 million farmers. Emefiele's comment is coming on the heels of President Muhammadu Buhari's assurance of the federal government's continued support to commodity farmers in the country in a bid to ensure the bumper harvest and tackle the smuggling of goods into the country. The CBN governor said this during the flag of the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria 2021 Northeast and second cycle dry season rice cultivation program in Katsina. Emefiele added that there is no need for anybody to panic as food prices are high because it is already coming down. The presidency has declared that nobody can break down the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, described secession agitators as charlatans sponsored to bully the president, thinking he will cower or panic. He maintained that the Buhari regime will not be kicked out of power by any group through blackmail. The presidency stressed that the Buhari regime was democratically elected. It therefore advised power grabbers to wait for 2 more years to take over power in 2023 through the ballot boxes. Also, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the renewal of the appointment of Alexander Oko as the Director General Bureau of Public Enterprises (BPE) for a second term of 4 years. The President's decision was contained in a statement issued by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, Mr. Laolu Akonde. According to the statement, the appointment, which was in accordance with the Public Enterprise Act 1999, will take effect from April 10. The BPE is the federal government agency charged with economic reforms, especially the privatization and commercialization of government-owned enterprises in the country. BPE also serves as the secretariat of the National Council on Privatization. Now in the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden has warned North Korea that the United States will respond accordingly if it escalates its military testing after Pyongyang fired 2 missiles in its first major provocation since it took office. The nuclear-armed North has a long history of using weapons tests to ramp up tensions in a carefully calibrated process to try to forward its objectives. Biden's response demonstrates a change of tone from his predecessor, Donald Trump, who engaged in an extraordinary diplomatic romance with North Korea leader Kim Jong-un, and last year repeatedly played down similar short-range launches. Pyongyang had been biding its time since the new administration took office, not even officially acknowledging its existence until last week. Biden said there will be responses if they choose to escalate. In Mumbai, a report says about 6 people have died in a fire that engulfed a mall housing hospital that treated coronavirus patients in Mumbai, India. Officials said that no fewer than 70 patients with COVID-19 infections in the private hospital were evacuated to other centers, adding that the cause of the fire was being investigated. It was not immediately clear whether any of those killed were COVID-19 patients. Mumbai is struggling through the worst phase of its COVID-19 pandemic and reported more than 5,500 cases in a day on Thursday, its highest number since the outbreak began. The country's overall caseload stood at 11.85 million. China has imposed sanctions on 9 UK citizens, including 5 MPs, for spreading what it called lies and disinformation about the country. The group is among the most vocal critics of China in the UK. It comes in retaliation for measures taken by the UK government on Monday over human rights abuses against the Uyghur Muslim minority group. The Foreign Secretary said if Beijing wanted to credibly rebut the claims, it should allow UN access Xinjiang. Those targeted by China include former conservative leader Salin Duncan-Smith, 2 peers, a lawyer and an academic. The response by China follows similar sanctions imposed on the European Union, which was part of the coordinated action on Monday, along with the UK, the US and Canada. And now to sports. Chief coach of the Squirrels of Benin Republic, Michel Dusoya, says his boys are in good form ahead of their Africa Cup of Nations qualifier match against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The Squirrels in their first leg decided at the Goswell Akpabio Stadium in Uyo shocked the Super Eagles by taking the lead less than 6 minutes into the game. But goals from Victor Osimhen and Samuel Kalu gave the Super Eagles a 2-1 victory. The last time the Squirrels were defeated at home was in November 2013 against Algeria. The Super Eagles are clear favourites in the head-to-head duel, having won 12, lost 1 and drew 1 out of the games played by both teams. Presently, the Squirrels are on a 5-game unbeaten run. Both the Super Eagles and the Squirrels will settle scores tomorrow in the match day 5 of the African Cup of Nations qualifier match scheduled for the Port Novo Stadium. And that's it on the Media News. Thank you for joining us. Do have a good afternoon. Thank you.